Arboga, Sweden, March 17, 2008. It was a cold, typical evening for the month. Inside the warmth of her home, 23-year-old Emma Jungastig was having what seemed like an ordinary night. She was preparing dinner while her two young children, 3-year-old Max and 1.5-year-old Saga, played nearby. As she cooked, she chatted online with her sister, Katarina, about their parents' upcoming anniversary. Suddenly, at 7:07 p.m., Emma's messages stopped mid-sentence. Katarina, finding the silence strange, sent another message asking if everything was okay. After receiving no response, she tried calling repeatedly, but each call went straight to voicemail. A sense of dread washed over her. She immediately called Emma's fiancé, Thorne Hellberg, who was on his way home from work. He tried to reassure her, suggesting Emma might have been distracted by the kids or left her phone charging. But when Thorne arrived home, he found the front door unlocked, something that never happened. He called out for Emma and the children, but was met with an eerie silence. A chill ran down his spine as he stepped inside to find the house completely trashed. His initial thought that the children had made a mess was quickly replaced by horror. The destruction was far too severe. Then he saw her. Emma was lying on the floor at the far end of the room, brutally beaten and almost unrecognizable. Shocked, Thorne's immediate thought was for the children. He rushed upstairs, his mind reeling with panic, and discovered a scene of unimaginable horror. Max and Saga lay on the floor, covered in blood. Their heads and faces were destroyed. Despite his shock, Thorne managed to call emergency services at 7:20 p.m. Paramedics arrived to a nightmarish crime scene, yet all three victims were still alive, though critically injured. They were rushed to the hospital and placed in intensive care, with doctors warning that their chances of survival were slim. A life of simple dreams. To understand this tragedy, we must look back. Emma Jungastig was born in Stockholm on February 16, 1985. From a young age, she dreamed of a simple life, a family, and a modest home. At 19, she married her high school boyfriend, Nicholas, believing she was building that future. They soon had their first son, Max, and a year and a half later, a daughter, Saga. But the pressures of immaturity, exhaustion, and daily life turned their home into a battleground. The couple separated soon after Saga's birth in a split fraught, with tension leading to multiple court battles over custody and support. When Nicholas later expressed a desire to reconcile, Emma had already moved on. Seeking a fresh start, she relocated with her children to the small, quiet town of Arboga, 93 miles from Stockholm. It was there she met Thorne Hellberg, a kind and hard-working man, online. Worried he might not accept her children, Emma was relieved when Thorne embraced them as his own. Their relationship moved quickly. Within a year, they had bought a house together and set a wedding date for summer 2008. For the first time in a long while, Emma's dream of a happy family seemed within reach. That dream was brutally shattered on that winter night. The investigation detectives were immediately puzzled. There were no signs of forced entry, no blood from an intruder, and nothing was stolen, ruling out robbery. This was a targeted, personal attack fueled by intense hatred. The murder weapon, believed to be a hammer or iron bar, was not found. Paramedics had unavoidably disturbed the crime scene in their desperate attempt to save lives, and a thorough forensic examination yielded no fingerprints, foreign DNA, or hair strands. The police first suspected Thorne, but his co-workers confirmed. His alibi and security footage showed he was still driving home during the crucial window between 7:07 and 7:18 p.m. He was ruled out. Next, they looked at Nicholas, Emma's ex-husband. Their history was troubled, and Emma had even filed an assault complaint against him. However, Nicholas was confirmed to be in another city at the time of the attack. Thorne also defended him, stating they had settled their issues and that Nicholas was incapable of harming his own children. He, too, was cleared. The investigation hit a dead end. The police interviewed friends, family, and neighbors, but everyone said Emma had no enemies. With no leads, the community of Arboga was gripped by fear. People locked their doors, children were kept inside, and the media fueled countless theories. A break finally came when a witness came forward. A man reported seeing a figure dressed entirely in black, hood up, hesitating outside Emma's house around 7:00 p.m. About 10 minutes later, he saw the same figure run out of the house and speed away in a car. He was certain the person was a woman, a new suspect, and a victim's memory. This new direction led detectives to cross-check all women close to Emma. Meanwhile, at the hospital, there was a glimmer of hope. 10 days after the attack, doctors began to wake Emma from her induced coma. She was fragile, both physically and emotionally, and initially remembered nothing of the attack, constantly asking for her children. Doctors and family had to hide the devastating truth that Max and Saga had succumbed to their injuries days earlier. When she was finally told, Emma was shattered. Then, on April 1st, her memory began to return. She recalled that while talking to her sister, someone had knocked on the door. A hooded woman dressed in black said her name was Tina, before striking Emma in the head with a hammer. That was all she remembered, but it was enough. Police showed Emma photos of potential suspects. When she saw a picture of Christine Schürer, she immediately identified her as the attacker. "This was the woman," she said. The obsession of Christine Schürer, a 31-year-old German woman, was Thorne's ex-girlfriend. They had a brief, intense 5-day romance in Greece in August 2006 and kept in touch long distance. Christine, head over heels, later flew to Sweden unannounced to visit him. Thorne was polite but soon discovered her controlling and possessive nature. After 5 months, he ended the relationship over the phone. Christine refused to accept the breakup. She bombarded him with messages, letters, and even showed up unannounced again. When Thorne stood firm, she attempted suicide by overdose, forcing him to rush her to the hospital. He later took her to her parents in Germany and urged them to get her psychiatric help. In the summer of 2007, Christine moved to Stockholm without Thorne's knowledge. Her obsession escalated in February 2008 when she contacted Thorne with a shocking claim. She said she had given birth to his child, but had put it up for adoption due to her mental state. Thorne, who was now with Emma, found the story implausible. The dates didn't add up. When he pressed for details, Christine became evasive. It became clear the story was a lie, a desperate attempt to win him back. When Thorne finally cut off all contact for good, Christine's obsession turned to vengeance. She promised herself that if she couldn't have him, no one would. The evidence and the trial after Emma's identification, police arrested Christine Schürer in Germany and extradited her to Sweden. She denied everything. A search of her Swedish apartment yielded a coat matching the witness's description, though it had been meticulously cleaned. The key evidence was on her laptop: dozens of photos of Emma and the children, detailed floor, plans of their house, search history on covering up crimes, and a diary filled with hatred for the family. It contained their address, daily routines, and proof the attack was premeditated. A shoe from her apartment matched a footprint found at the crime scene, and security footage placed her in Arboga on the day of the attack. A roommate also testified that her hammer had gone missing around the time of the murder. Christine's trial began on July 29, 2008. Her behavior in court was chilling. She showed no remorse, waving and smiling at spectators. When crime scene photos were shown, she laughed. A psychiatric evaluation confirmed she was sane, fully aware of her actions, and simply cruel. Despite her defense arguing a lack of direct DNA evidence, the circumstantial case was overwhelming. With testimony from over 40 witnesses, Emma's identification, and the contents of her laptop, Christine Schürer was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. An appeal was rejected. Aftermath: in March 2012, Christine was transferred to a German prison to serve her sentence. Emma's recovery was long and painful. While her physical wounds healed, the emotional scars remained. With Thorne's support, she slowly rebuilt her life. They got married in 2010 and had 2 more children. Nicholas, Emma's ex-husband, also remarried and had a daughter. Step by step, the families managed to move forward, forever marked by a night of brutality that shattered the peace of Arboga and revealed the terrifying depths of one woman's obsession. What do you think? Was justice truly served with Christine's life sentence? Could anything have been done to prevent this, or was she a predator who would not be stopped? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If stories like this that delve into the darkest corners of human psychology fascinate you, make sure to support the channel by subscribing and hitting the like button. It really helps us grow and bring you more deep dive content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next